Hey guys, welcome to today's video. We're going to be talking about the New York Jets and what they should do with the number 2 overall pick. Before we get started, I have two things. One, I've been looking to maybe doing some NHL, MLB, or NBA content, and I'm asking you guys if you guys would enjoy that kind of content, if you think I should, start doing some NHL, NBA, and MLB content. So, leave your thoughts in the comment section down below. And also, if you're new around here, please drop a like and a sub on today's video. I'd really appreciate it. It would really help my channel grow. And with that said, let's dive right into the video, and I hope you enjoy. So here's how today's video is going to work. Basically, I'm going to come up with 2 or 3 different scenarios for the Jets at pick number 2 and what they should do. So really the emphasis is on the offensive side of the football, right? Quarterback is something that we're going to talk about in today's video. Running back is definitely something that is of need. I don't think at the number 2 overall pick there's any running back in the draft that is going to be up to that caliber. Yep, Najee Harris, yep, Travis Etienne are very good. But look for maybe the Jets to go out and maybe get a running back with either their second first round pick or even their second round or third round picks. Okay, but now let's dive into the first option. Option 1 is draft a quarterback. So it's pretty simple here. Okay, the Jets need a quarterback, in my opinion. I don't think Sam Darnold is the future at quarterback for the New York Jets. Last year, he did have some good times, he did have some bad times, but overall, I don't think he's the long-term answer. Robert Saleh and, the Jets general manager, Joe Douglas, have talked a little bit about maybe Sam Darnold perhaps having some unhidden talent that they can somehow, get to and work at. But overall, I just don't think Sam Darnold, in the time that he's been in the NFL, has been productive. He just hasn't, okay? He hasn't really had the weapons to be productive, and although, giving him some weapons would be a good idea at this pick, I think Sam Darnold just isn't really the guy that you want in New York, right? He hasn't really performed well, and with that said, I don't think, adding weapons around him to see if he's going to be good is really the move when you can get a good quarterback in the draft at the second overall pick. So, which quarterbacks could you go out and get? For me, there's really 2 options. Trevor Lawrence is probably going to be off the board at number 2. He's probably going to go to the Jacksonville Jaguars at number 1. That's pretty much a guarantee. So you really have to decide between a guy like Justin Fields and a guy like Zack Wilson. So here's the thing. I personally prefer Zack Wilson's potential, but I like Justin Fields more. So Zack Wilson, if you look at his tape, he's absolutely fantastic. The arm strength he has, the arm strength he showcases is completely off the charts. He in a way kind of reminds me of Drew Lock coming out of college. Drew Lock kind of came out of nowhere. Just like Zack Wilson, he's kind of come out of nowhere. And Lock, if you watch his college tape, I know he's not the best NFL quarterback, but if you watch college tape, the arm strength he has and the accuracy and the deep downfield ball and the ability for him to get outside the pocket is all stuff that Zack Wilson has. And to be honest, I think Zack Wilson does it better. He's got elite arm strength, elite pocket presence. He's really able to get outside the pocket and move effectively with his legs. However, if you look at his stats in his college career, he kind of came out of nowhere. Last season was really the only season he was productive at BYU. But overall, I love what I saw from him. He is fantastic. He's going to be great. But it's somewhere in between. Is he going to be Drew Lock or is he going to be like a Patrick Mahomes? I don't think he's going to be Patrick Mahomes. Don't get me wrong. But he's got some of those attributes and those skill sets that Patrick Mahomes does have. Mahomes' elite arm, really able to get outside the pocket. So Zack Wilson has some of that. But also he could just be another Drew Lock where he had great arm talent, able to get outside the pocket out of college, but really couldn't, perform really well at the NFL stage. But he could probably still be a quality NFL quarterback. On the other hand, I personally prefer Justin Fields. Fields, obviously Ohio State's quarterbacks never really are great in the NFL. But in this situation, I love Justin Fields. And for me, he kind of compares to a guy like Kyler Murray or Jalen Hurts. And that's because his ability to run outside the pocket. He's the best mobile quarterback in this year's NFL draft. And that's really where the NFL is moving to, right? That's where it's moving to. That's where it's going. And I think that firstly, I loved what Justin Fields was able to do. If you watch his game against the Clemson Tigers in the college football playoffs this year, that was fantastic. He got injured, still played through it. But number one, his ability to get outside the pocket and run is what makes him so dynamic. Plus, you add his pretty solid arm throwing the ball downfield. He doesn't have quite the Kyler Murray accuracy or deep ball strength that we see from Kyler Murray. He doesn't quite have that, but he's got the ability to throw the deep ball. Not as well as Zack Wilson, but he's got elite mobility that really could be good at the next level. If his arm ends up being, an average arm, I think it's slightly above average in that as an arm talent wise. But if his arm really doesn't translate to the NFL game, his mobility definitely will. So I think that Justin Fields is a little bit of a safer pick. I think The only problem with him is just, consistency. We've seen him be really good. We've seen him just, kind of disappear at times. But overall, consistency is something that we want to see from him. Where a guy like Zack Wilson, I mean, I just don't really know how he translates to the NFL. Obviously, arm talent, something huge. But, seeing after Drew Lock, I really don't know. The next thing that I want to talk about, the option number 2, is drafting Penei Sewell. So, obviously, Penei Sewell is one of the best tackle prospects, honestly, best offensive line prospects we've seen in the past 5 years, really. Penei Sewell, absolutely fantastic. He actually opted out of this year's season, but, what he was able to do at Oregon over his career, collegiate career, was really be effective as a run blocker and really good as a pass blocker. I mean, the guy's huge, and he is one of those special tackles that you can draft in the top few picks, okay? Normally, offensive tackles, offensive linemen, you don't really see them go up in the top 5 a lot unless they're super special talents, and Penei Sewell is one of those talents. The Jets' offensive line has been horrendous, okay? It just has. They did draft Mekhi Becton, who is a guy who, could end up being, that future left tackle there. And you know what? Maybe move him over to right tackle. Move him over to right tackle. Put Penei Sewell at left tackle, or maybe just switch up. Get 2 great bookends. Becton, Sewell, really good run blockers. Sewell really developed as a pass protector too. But overall, you don't pass on really elite offensive linemen. However, you draft Penei Sewell if you trust Sam Darnold. If you trust Sam Darnold and you believe Sam Darnold's the guy, which I don't believe, I do not believe Sam Darnold's the guy in New York, then you draft Penei Sewell or you draft my option number 3. But I think Penei Sewell would be great. I mean, he's an elite offensive lineman. I think he's one of those special talents that you can find in that position. And he could really be a staple in New York for, 10, 15 years. I mean, I could really see that from a guy like Penei Sewell. Really athletic, really good in run blocking, really good as a pass protector. Like, overall, he's the perfect package at the offensive line position, and he would really help strengthen that offensive line. And then finally, the last one, option number 3, is draft Devonta Smith. So once again, if you trust Sam Darnold, if you believe in Sam Darnold's abilities, you got to get him weapons. I mean, he doesn't have any weapons. Jameson Crowder is good, but I mean, Denzel Mims, Brashad Perry, that's not enough. Braxton Berrios, like you need weapons. And Devonta Smith, Heisman winner. He was absolutely fantastic for Alabama last season. I mean, I think he had 17 touchdowns, maybe more than that. He was just fantastic. I think he had 17 touchdowns, not including the last game. I mean, he was on top of it all. The only concern with him is his size, okay? He's 175 pounds, about 6 foot, 6'1". So he's a little bit skinny, lanky, which is, not great for the NFL game, obviously, when you have huge guys that are big physical players. But it hasn't really been a problem for him in college. And until someone proves that it could be a problem for him, you can say he's undersized, right? So what? But he absolutely owned college football last year, and he's smart. I mean, he's fast, really good with the football, great in open space. He's got that elite elusiveness and speed when he catches the football, especially after the catch. And overall, I just really like what he brings to the table. I mean, he's a special talent, and I think he'd be great in New York if you believe in Sam Darnold. However, I don't believe in Sam Darnold. Okay, I don't. I'm not a Jets fan. But from what I've seen from the Jets, right, I'm a Dolphins fan. I see a lot of Jets games. From what I've seen from Sam Darnold in the past, he just looks like an average quarterback that maybe in a situation could be okay. Like, he doesn't look great, and that's what I've seen from him in the New York Jets organization. I am going to be making a film analysis video on him, determining if he's the future for the Jets moving forward. And as you kind of already know, I just don't think he is. I don't think what I saw from him last year is really enough to make me say, yeah, they're gonna draft weapons around him rather than drafting his replacement. So with that said, I think that the Jets should go out and draft a quarterback. I don't care if that's Zack Wilson. I don't care if that's Jalen Hurts. I don't care if that's, not Jalen Hurts, if that's Justin Fields. But overall, I think Justin Fields or Zack Wilson is really, those are the guys that the Jets are going to have to look at number 2. And that's pretty much going to end it for today. I hope you enjoyed the video. Did you agree with my analysis? Why or why not? Leave your comments in the comment section down below. I love to hear what you guys have to say. Also, if you're new around here, please drop a like and a sub on today's video. That would really help my channel grow. I'd really appreciate it. With that said, I hope you enjoyed the video. And until next time, see ya.